In effect, what we're saying here is that the US dollar is pinned to its total output of goods and services within the United States. That the material value which underpins the dollar is the material productivity of US economy. So that's in effect what people try to do, is to suggest that that is the case. Now that requires that there be a central bank which recognizes that, and in recognizing that is willing to avoid inflationary incidents and all the rest of it. And what you see is something very interesting in US history, is that after the abandonment of the gold standard in the 1970-73 period, well, 68 to 73, what happened at the end of the 1970s? Huge inflation. Inflation in the United States was up around 17–20%. And everybody starts going crazy about this inflation. And they recognize that inflation is a big problem. And they look back at the Weimar Republic, and they looked at the German Bundesbank, which was kind of saying, inflation, no, we've been there, we don't want to have anything to do with that. So there was a scare at the end of the 1970s that this paper currency, the US dollar, which was now representing the value, was out of control, and it had to be brought back under control. How was it brought back under control? It was brought back by what's called the Volcker shock, because what Volcker did was to simply raise the interest rates way up to about 19%, something like that. Maybe not as high as that, but very, very high. And that, of course, immediately froze economic activity. There was a recession. Unemployment in the country soared in the early years of the Reagan administration. There was a Reagan recession, which was engineered. And it was precisely about breaking the inflationary cycle, suppressing wages. And to suppress wages, you had to suppress the unions. So they did, the PATCO, the air traffic controller strike and things like that. And at the same time, you started to loosen up the possibility of monetary consolidation at the global level.